guys, welcome back to my channel. As the title says, Confessions of a Food Addict. There are some things that we have to talk about which aren't necessarily, they don't necessarily feel good, but you feel like it's a necessary evil, and this is one of those things. I definitely am a food addict. I was diagnosed as having food addiction probably 30 years ago. And your question may be, what is food addiction? Well, let me go ahead and tell you to begin with. I have notes in front of me. I could pretend to have this all memorized, but my memory is not that great. So I'm going to be looking at my notes from time to time. So again, the question comes up, what is food addiction? Well, food addiction is a behavioral condition which is characterized by compulsive consumption of palatable foods. In other words, those yummy foods, they're usually your high-fat, high-sugary foods, the things that you eat, and when you eat, you just want more and more and more, despite the fact that you know you're going to feel like crap later, and you're going to gain a lot of weight. Usually this kind of food does not include like carrots or Brussels sprouts. I don't know of anybody, me included, that made it to 320 pounds because I had a compulsion to eat Brussels sprouts, okay? I love them now, but not that much. It's funny, down through the years as my friends, and I have really wonderful supportive friends, when they found out I'm vegan, almost always what people will say to me is, I could give up meat because I don't eat as much meat as I used to, but I could never ever give up cheese. Well, did you know that there's a very good reason why certain foods, when we're trying to lose weight, are so hard to give up? And that's because certain foods have an addictive hold on us. Two of the main ones are cheese and sugar. Now let me tell you how this works. Cheese, all dairy products, have a protein in them called casein. When we digest caseins that are in our milk products, they release an opiate called casomorphins. Now, what happens with the casomorphins is they trigger an addictive element in our brain. Opiates in cheese will attach to certain brain receptors, dopamine receptors. These are the very same receptors, now hear this, that heroin and morphine will attach to. So cheese is doing the same thing in our brain that heroin and morphine does. What does that do? Well, what it does is it will attach to the dopamine receptors. It will release dopamine. When dopamine gets released, it boosts our happiness hormone. It makes us feel rewarded. I've never been addicted to drugs, but I have often wondered how that works. And when it is explained like that when you're using certain substances, it actually boosts your happiness level. It makes you feel rewarded. Well, I liken that to food. If you're eating something that makes you feel happy or makes you feel rewarded, you're not going to stop doing it. It's something that you're going to continue to do. Now, I remember when I first found this out, and it would have been years and years ago when I studied nutrition, which I told you is a fascinating subject. I could not even believe this. I thought this has to be crazy. So I looked it up for myself because I'm a firm believer I'm not going to believe something just because somebody tells me. I have to find the source of it. So I'm going to encourage each and every one of you watching this, become your own advocate. Become the person that you don't, read all your labels of what you're eating. Take the time to break down what you're putting in your body. You're going to find out a lot that might explain a lot with why you can't lose weight. What about sugar? Do you think that sugar does that too? Well, actually, new studies are saying that sugar might be as addictive as cocaine. Because again, sugar's going to activate those opiate receptors in your brain, and it's going to make you, again, feel like you're rewarded. So what happens? It leads to compulsive behavior. Compulsive behavior in the food department leads to one thing, weight gain. Doesn't matter how it makes you feel. You're going to continue to do the same thing over and over and over again. So if you ever feel like with certain foods that you eat, you continue to crave more, I know sugar for me is a really bad one. So basically I try to stay away from sugar. But if you find you're craving things, maybe it's because you're eating something that is in actuality, it's an addictive food. As a person that once weighed 320 pounds at their highest, I can say that I don't believe anybody that is that much overweight is a happy person. And I know that in the media we like to portray fat people as jolly, and I actually think the very opposite is what's true. I don't believe either that people that are morbidly obese are healthy people. I know there's a huge fat acceptance movement that is going on right now, and when it comes to that, I'll go on record as saying that I believe in acceptance for all people. I don't care if you're fat, you're thin, you're black, you're white, you're gay, you're straight, you're trans. I believe in acceptance for all people. But I do not believe in acceptance when it comes to fat people, to where you need to change everything and to be so accommodating so as to encourage people to stay in that lifestyle. I am going to be 58 on my next birthday. I've seen a lot. I know how when I weighed 320 pounds for those years, it completely destroyed my knees, high blood pressure, every kind of issue. Now, everybody doesn't have that. I will agree with that. But that doesn't mean you're healthy. That doesn't mean that at some stage in your life, it's not going to come back to haunt you, the choices that you make. I've known people that were young, they carried a lot of weight, they were fine. But now, it's catching up with them and it's put them in some predicaments that they don't want to be in, because it has completely changed their mobility issue. That being said, I don't think there's ever a time when you cannot change your life. I am a firm believer in you can always make your life better if that's what you want to do. I do not believe that it is necessarily what a lot of people will say when they look at fat people. Oh, they just don't have any willpower. If they had willpower, they could lose weight. Well, you have to have some willpower to stay the course. But sometimes life breaks your will. It breaks people down. And some things that have happened to people, they will react to it differently than the way other people react. Maybe something that destroys someone, you were strong enough to carry on. Doesn't mean either response is wrong. It's just how we differ as human beings. I remember when I was a young girl and my dad called me up one weekend, and I have two brothers. I'm in the middle, so I got an older and a younger brother. And he informed me, I'm going to get your brothers on the weekends, but I'm not going to get you anymore because my girlfriend doesn't like you. And I'm talking a young girl. I may have been 12. If you don't think that damaged me, yeah, that damaged me a lot. I was raised by a mother who was a religious fanatic. I loved her, but it was what it was. And we were expected to be perfect. And when we weren't perfect as children, my mother would withdraw her affection from me. And to the point where she wouldn't even talk to me. That does not make you grow up to be a person that has a lot of self-worth. Doesn't mean you can't change it. Talk to me today. I'm oozing with self-worth. I know who I am. I know what I do and don't believe in. I can't be shaken off of that. But that took a lot of work, and it took a lot of years. I want to be that source for people. I want to be a person that when you're feeling really down, you talk to me. You come in this community that we have. I want us to share things. I want us to care about each other, and I want us to motivate each other. And like I said before, yes, it is called Jackie's Vegan World. Do you have to be vegan to come and participate on this channel? Absolutely not. It's my channel. That's not a requirement. You need to be a decent human being if you come here, because I won't tolerate anybody being ugly to anybody. But being vegan is not what gets you to come to this channel and be a part. I would like it if you're struggling with your weight right now, get the Lose It app. That's what I'm doing, guys. I'll be completely transparent. I have that. That app is free. I'm going to tell you right now, you can add me. It's Maggie May 8030@yahoo.com. Okay, because my favorite song in the world is Maggie May by Rod Stewart. So that definitely dates me, but I don't care because I love that song. Let's do it together. Get yourself a scale. Get yourself an inexpensive food scale and start weighing out everything you put in your mouth. Be accountable for everything. Put it on your app. If you're a person that does better with pen and paper, do it. Whatever it takes to keep you accountable. Will it be hard? Absolutely. Will it be frustrating? Absolutely. Will you hate where you are today? You absolutely will. But you know what? Break out of that habit. If you were like me, I started every Monday. Every Monday. And what I would do is leading up to Monday is I would eat everything I could, because I knew on Monday I was starting all over again. Break that habit. That was one of the things I did when I decided I didn't want to be 320 anymore. I think I started on the weekend, and I thought, I'm breaking this cycle of eating and gorging until Monday. Wasn't going to do it anymore. Start playing a new tune in your head. If you need encouragement, reach out to me. I will encourage you. At almost 58, I've experienced a lot in life, okay? A lot and lots of downs. And I've experienced some great ups. I want to be here to help you. I'm going to teach you how I eat, okay? And why I eat the way I do. In my next video, I'm going to take you through my health journey of the last 5-6 years, because it's important to where I am right now. And I think that it will help you to understand that I struggle just like you do with life and with everything. So, if you need to see a doctor before you start a program, I'm not a doctor. I want to be here to encourage you and share with you what I know that works. So, if you need to see a doctor, see a doctor. Get your calorie count, get your little free app, add me on it, introduce yourself to me, get you a food scale, start being accountable, and let's start this journey together. And look at it as a journey. Don't look at it as I'm sprinting, man, I'm going to do something and lose 10 pounds by tomorrow. You lose 10 pounds by tomorrow, you're going to gain 20 by next week. We all know how it works, okay? So again, thank you so much for your time today. If you suffer with food addiction, put it in the comments. Let's start having the conversation. Look, I'll tell you, today I weigh 203 pounds. When I started on August 25th, I was 222. That's real. It is not cool to put it out here because I'm not a person that shares very much, okay? Which I'm having to learn to get over. It's there. It's a number, guys. It won't define us, who we are as human beings. So again, please like, please subscribe, and please always watch the video to the end. If you have any comments, suggestions, thoughts for me, please feel free to leave them. Next video about my health and where I'm going with that. All right, thank you so much. I appreciate you. And please, I used to say let's be good to ourselves, but how about we change that and let's be good to each other. All right, thank you. Bye.